Welcome everybody. It's a new season and it's time to bring back Gokhan the Rebel Saki. For those of you who don't know, Gokhan Saki went 1-1 in the UFC. He's a very credentialed Muay Thai kickboxing specialist. I couldn't do live commentary over this because I had Heem to Dream 32 in the party. So what I can do is kind of describe what I was seeing from my opponents and my mindset when I'm playing with Saki. Obviously with Saki, I want to use his kickboxing combos. I usually like to follow up with punches first and have the kick be the third or fourth strike. And once I get them low blocking for the kick on the third strike, I like to go with the punches. I could tell by this the way this guy was playing that he wasn't really a seasoned player. Then again, it was the beginning of the season. And this is something a lot of people do. They back up a lot and they telegraph that they're going to lunge in with a strike, a big strike. Him with the slip straight as he kept on trying to throw the jab, go for the lead body kick, high kick combo with Gokhan Saki. Dude has everything. I don't know why he's a B. I understand, I guess, because of the moveset. But if there was like a B minus or just a C plus, I think that would suit him a lot better. Mainly because his health stats aren't that good. His strike and stamina isn't that good. And this guy's range management was not good either. But, you know, I feel like a C plus would be better. He has worse ground game than CM Punk. But we got an easy knockout there for the first fight. My first fight I wanted to upload, it was against Tito Ortiz as well. But my IP, I got it set to dynamic so I wouldn't get booted. And in the middle of my fight, I guess they were still doing work on my internet. And I was beating this Karolina Kovacevic dude. And it ended up kicking me out of the fight after I rocked him. So that kind of sucked. But no worries. A lot of things I like to keep note of is how my opponent reacts to my strikes. With Gokhan, obviously he has his signature combos, the lead hook, double lead uppercut. You can follow it up with an overhand, lead hook, hook to the body with a ducky roundhouse kick. And he has a huge amount of boxing combos too. Crazy good moveset. Notice what this Tito Ortiz player is doing. He's kind of always firing back after I finish my exchanges to try to keep me when my stamina is low. So I'm just kind of playing a footsies game. See that? He always fires back after I finish. So he's kind of taking turns. You see that? And just by playing footsies, I get him to react when I want him to react. These are going to go in my favor. Now with Saki, I definitely don't want to exchange too much in the pocket. Want to get the free chaps going. And I'm going to be aware of the takedown. I don't think this guy knows how to hit a low single. He hits a body kick that's way out of range. I believe this is what, Pride Tito Ortiz. Goes for 2 lungy body hooks. And he eats the Saki death combo. Unfortunately, my short-term stamina was low, so I couldn't get the knockout. But his head off is Shrek. Like, he has no way out of this. Still, even though I'm ahead right now in terms of damage, I can't afford to make a mistake with Gokhan because of his health stats and his heart and everything else. It's very likely that if I make a single mistake, I can get knocked out by people that aren't even that much better than me. So get a really terribly set up takedown there. He would have been better off going for the double, especially off of the leg kicks. And I'm just slowly working the body, going jab, lead uppercut, far for no lead uppercut. Custom Saki combo right there. This fight is over. Little bit of dude was a little bit impatient. He could have set up his grappling attempts a lot better. Maybe use the hit stuns to get the over under clinch and double unders to get me really thinking. So I don't really want to get in the pocket that much. It's really easy to kind of manipulate his guard and get him and keep him guessing, you know. And I think that second lead uppercut. Yeah, I gotta get that fixed out. The first one lands. And the second one didn't touch him, but it got a hit reaction there. Okay, I gotta get that checked out. Now this Shogun Hua, I was fighting him, and he kind of showed an issue with a lot of players, and it's when they're trying to fish for that one big shot, whether it be by randomly throwing a head kick, or just kind of wiggling the stick, hoping to avoid something, and then timing a strike right after so they can get a nice hit counter bonus. But this dude, a hardcore head case, man, I guess he lived up to his name because I got what he was doing relatively quick. It took me about like a few seconds, and you guys are going to see that relatively shortly. Saki, even though he's 6 feet, he doesn't really feel like he's 6 feet. I honestly feel like I'm playing with maybe a slightly taller Aldo, maybe. All the other guys like heavyweight, they're so huge. And we're showing who this was a pretty good matchup. You know, the Jones player wasn't that good. TRT's player wasn't that good. They didn't really set up anything special. And this guy was telling the intro play out, so I was very determined to let him pay for wasting my time with this. Oh boy. Eve Levine. Or maybe he had something to do, you know? People have lives too outside the game. You can hear heat raging in the background. You got my family in the background too. See right there, he didn't really react. You see that? The first 10 seconds of the fight, the dude's throwing a head kick. And I was trying to see, like, is he trying to play the patient game? So I'm going to pressure him with strike to see how he reacts. And then right there, that told me, yeah, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. Yeah, I didn't count off the strike. Block him up. Another head kick. And I don't think he understands that he shouldn't really be in the pocket with Saki. My hands are a lot faster than Shogun's. Catch him as he's throwing his strike. Those spin strikes, they do a lot more damage when you catch somebody in the middle of them throwing punches. You're kind of knocking the air out of them. Gets rocked there, and he's just like wobbling his head. And again, a random head kick. I didn't understand what the game plan was for this dude. Rock him again. Look, he ducks that. He could have probably finished me if he actually meant to time that. He rages one more time. And one thing I started doing is that when I know somebody's going to fire up an uppercut, I've started to do slip uppercuts. I don't know if you guys watched my Ricky J fight, but I was fighting, I believe, Gokhan. And in the first fight, I hit him with a few body hooks, so I kind of conditioned him to react the way I want him to react. And he went for an uppercut, and I slipped the uppercut and landed that slip hook. Try to go for the wombo combo there. A little bit too late on that, so I couldn't get a rock. There it is. He tried to go for another uppercut again. Rocked him and dropped him. And the goal, whenever you're playing with somebody who has this specific moveset like Saki, is that you want to keep mixing things up. If you keep trying to follow a specific meta of strikes, you're going to be relatively predictable, and it's not going to help you. Especially when your character's at the disadvantage that he's at. So he catches that kick, he's getting beat on the feet, and he elects to go with a punch. But I don't really think it makes a lot of sense. Or maybe he just didn't know how. See that? If he would have actually timed it right after the first strike, then he would have been way better off. But his short-term stamina was low. He needs another body hook to deliver, and this fight is done.
This guy's a freaking idiot.
You hear me say, like, I thought the guy was pretty idiotic. And you hear him a little bit raging in the background. But everything's about mix-ups. If you follow a specific plan of strikes, for the average player, you can frustrate them because you're cycling through a certain amount of strikes, but against really good players, we're going to pick up on that. If you guys go back to my last quick fight stream, I was fighting Bartholomew, who's an absolute monster. And we were just having some fights, and it was a high-paced striking because he just makes reads, and he just believes in his strikes. So, speaking about believing in strikes, this Chael Sonnen player I fought, he was believing in the wrong strikes. I like his name. Freeze, motherfucker. Like, it's a pretty funny name. And Chael Sonnen is actually a C+. And he has really solid grappling stats. So he can really control a lot of people in this division. Even a John Jones if you can. But his health stats are better than Saki's. His stamina is better than Saki's. His grappling is way better than Saki's. Yeah, he's a C+. Where that's the only area I really excel in is striking. And I just have to be picture perfect when I'm fighting. But I believe this dude, he was cycling a specific strike. I think it was cycling a straight body hook. And I was queuing up on that strike. Like once I caught on that this is what he liked to do, I started having my own counter strike for it. And if you notice, like, he has a predictable pattern. Like, he'll lunge and then he'll go for uppercut hook. Trying to play an outside game with Chael Sonnen, which I didn't really understand. I guess he was just trying to waiting for me to make a mistake. You see that? And then he's going for that meta combo, the jab, lead hook straight. Then again, every time he lunges, he goes for that Uppercut hook. Doesn't go for the takedown. That straight tracks me as I pull it back. I thought I was in proper range, but I guess not. Hit with a body kick as he tries to sway. And he's trying to force out a slip straight. This is what I mean by like forcer strikes. I'm using my footwork to force out a reaction from him. You notice how I'm just kind of like closing in, closing in, closing in. Doing a fade. Now he's going for that push. This time I lunge the uppercut because he's getting relatively predictable with it. I don't think Chael has any high kicks. Maybe I'm mistaken because I don't really use them. I pressed the PS button here and I was like, God damn it. Right here, I gotta be really careful. Well, again, this guy's like, it's a 5-round fight. I get it. And here it is. This is where he got really comfortable using those jab mix-ups in the body. So I elected to kind of play that game. I didn't think it was a smart idea from him. I'm like, all right, I'll just start firing up uppercuts. Pulled that jab hook. Going for the slip straight lead uppercut. That's a really good strike to follow up with if somebody tries to duck. And again, now that little counter I like to hit is the lead uppercut, rear body uppercut, because usually you try to think that you're gonna go 2 strikes. And again, it just didn't make sense. He just kept coming forward with that strike, despite me showing the ability to counter it. And then again, he hits another left hook. Goes a jab lead hook. Not really worried about that. The thing is, I don't think. Yeah, he went for a freaking push. He tried to push me, and I went out front kick and KO'd him. But if you see somebody going for a body straight, if you duck the moment you see them go for a body straight, whether it's going to be a hook to the body or a hook to the head, it's going to muffle the body hook and it's going to duck whatever the hook to the head is. Not a lot of people have the body straight uppercut combo. It's not really a combo that people have. So keep that in mind if you get somebody who's trying to do what this guy's doing. I honestly timed the front kick thinking he was going to go for the body straight again, but I got a way better result than I wanted. So relatively a few easy fights with Saki. Kind of just running through a lot of these guys. But I promise you the fights are going to get a lot better. Don't worry. This Alpha General guy.
I know it. I'm trying to duck
You can hear him just raging in the background, man.
Oh my god.
This guy had a good idea of what to do. I think he was trying to pull a few strikes. He had a specific game plan of strikes that he wanted to follow. If there was any suggestion I'd make to this player is to probably follow up with more leg kicks. Go more leg kicks if you see me swing, right? Because then that's gonna get my hands low so you can open up your head strikes. And a little bit more clinch action, you know. If you Glover definitely has more power to Saki, I think, or maybe it's equal power, something like that. But the grappling is your advantage, so you got to use it. See that? So he's firing off with the jab straight lead hook. If somebody throws a jab straight lead hook, you want to do a movie slip to the outside of the straight, so the hook doesn't catch you there. I kind of saw that he was starting up a strike out of range, nailed it with that lead overhead. There, I didn't think that hook should have hit me. And if you get somebody who's overcommitting on 2 forward moving strikes, that major back lunge will stop them in their tracks. If you notice, so over there when I rocked them. And there, you see, I'm not really going to strike it off every single pull that I do. But I'm getting the guy to think. Just kind of lunging forward. Made a mistake. I thought he was going to back up. And I threw a body kick and punch range. If there's one area I wish I could fix about myself, it's not throwing those body kicks and punch range for sure. Thought he was going to follow up with a straight there. Then he goes for the hook. And there's another little slick counter I like to do. I like to duck the body kick if it's in punching range, so it doesn't really hit me at all. It already doesn't do damage as much if you're in a punching range. Then I made a kind of bad mistake. I kept exchanging with my short term stay when it was low, but I knew this guy really could have capitalized, so I wasn't too worried. But yeah, if you duck the body kick, it's gonna hit your shoulders. Took a little bit too long with that sway. Caught that one, kicked it, and you see this guy's not giving himself a chance to reset with his stamina. He's so focused on trying to get one back that I nailed him with another back lunge straight. Try to go for the front kick, assuming he'll bring his block low. Move my head, try to get him to chase my head. Use that as an evasive. There, I stopped exchanging because I felt like I could have got rocked if I kept going. Another pull to kill his stamina. And right there, he could have probably pulled. He probably could have taken me down, but he was content to keep the fight on the feet. When he gets that close, he should really be looking to get to that over-under clinch. I don't see why he's continuing to exchange. See, kind of trying to capitalize off a mistake. And fun fact, there's some strikes where like there's not gonna be a strike that's gonna follow up. Hit him with the Saki combo, another good time. Like if you go, somebody throws a lead uppercut, you launch to the outside of that, there's nothing that's gonna hit you. Completely out of range. Gets nailed by the left hook, and Alpha General 209 is out. He was so focused on trying to get one back that he wasn't really resetting. So that kind of led to another relatively easy victory with Saki. Yeah, he was completely out of range. Oh, I wonder if that kick hit him. Did it hit him? I don't think it did. Good left hook. Yeah, bops the top of his head. That's pretty cool. But yeah, it's just another example of Saki's moveset is really devastating. The moveset is the best thing about him. So if you can really be on your P's and Q's when you're using him, it's really good. Speaking of Saki, very rarely do I get a Saki mirror match in this division. And I'm going against Afro Ross, also known as Fucking Moving. And he knows this is me. I think Marshall told everybody like this was my own account because, it's for fun. Defeat the Saki, it's a character that is really disadvantaged going against John Jones, Corey, and Gus. So something I had for fun, and I went like 98-2 with Saki, something crazy like that. I think a few seasons ago. And this Fucking Moving guy, or Afros, I guess as he likes to call himself now. I remember he was talking about how he was a fan of the Dominic Cruz showcase that Marshall uploaded when I used him. I think it was relatively like a few months back, and this guy has gotten a lot better. He's definitely adopted a lot of meta strategies into his striking, but he also has his own kind of flair to it. His timing's really good, so I'm very complimentary of this dude's striking. I think like if I have any character that doesn't have good hands against him, but I don't grapple this dude, I'm probably gonna be in trouble. But he's a very respectable player, and I like the way that he fights. It's very enjoyable fighting this dude. If he ever wants to do quick fights or anything like that, feel free to message me. You already got my account, it's all good. Now, if there's one thing that you have to capitalize on, that I don't know if you guys picked up on it throughout the entirety of the video, I made sure to attack my opponent's body when they were whiffing strikes, as they were trying to retreat, or sneaking it in there after blocking a certain amount of strikes. A lot of people, they kind of talk about how like, oh my god, every single time I go to the body, I get uppercutted to death, or I eat something, and it's just a matter of you not setting up your punches, not setting up your punches. If you notice, the best players in this game, we all can relatively get our body shots off really, really well. And it just has to do with timing. There's no special controller that's going to get you anything like that. There's no special button that's going to make your body punches faster. It's just your timing. It's up to you to hold yourself accountable whenever you're doing anything in life. Have fun and get after it. Let's get after it right now. So I fought this guy before a few times. I know what the relative meta of things he likes to do. He likes to follow with the body uppercuts. He has a really good slip straight. And he's also as patient as I am, maybe a little bit less. There, I knew he was probably going to go for that lead teep fake with the leg kick. And then that's the body uppercut that I was talking about. And all I'm doing is I'm just getting him to react. And there, that was a crucial mistake by me. And then he's whiffing strikes. You see that? How I was talking about earlier. Catch him as he's whiffing. Rack him with that again. See, he's so intent on blocking his head that he's not really doing a good job of defending his body. The combo selections are really good. But you see that he's whiffing as I'm kind of working my way into the pocket. Yeah, I'm not worried about getting taken down. Fake the ducking roundhouse. This is a really good fight to watch back. Okay, he has a hard time catching those kicks. So another thing he likes to do with Saki, that he likes to, if he catches a kick, he presses X or circle. And I kept forgetting that he kept doing that, so he didn't punch my face at all. He kept freaking tripping me down. I could have just blocked that by holding the low block button. Facing some body punch hooks there. So this is a good fight. Like, this is a guy who's thinking about his offense. Goes for the Saki combo. His block is relatively low. Fake the lead leg kick. Go for the body kick. Shout out to Marshall Blood. Tries to fake one strike and I nail him with a front kick. The other body kick gets a good hit reaction. And it's just a game of patience. It's just a chess match. I know he wants to nail me with that uppercut. So just be very careful. That body uppercut, he times that really well. So I gotta be careful not to duck my head because he'll track my head. Another body kick for good measure. Oh, he followed up with the entire combination. I'm surprised he did that. Now he started a low block. But I'm just moving my head. Oh, when you swim, man, those body kicks hurt. He threw that kick completely out of range. Fainted the strike. Set up another body combination. Just playing with his reaction. Not going to force the finish. Just going to slowly break him down. Respect to you, too. As people start to get better in this game, they've been doing a really good job of picking up on kind of like the footsies. But there he continued to strike. He continued to strike with a short-term stab, but it was slow. I nailed him with a straight. Slipped that pull counter straight. Like the head kick. He's starting to block low now. Conditioning him with the body kicks. And this fight's in my control now. Hit him with another Saki combo. Ah, the straight was too close. Didn't work the way I wanted it to work, but that's a really, really solid round for me. I like having Saki mirror matches, you know, because, you know, people just, they strike. They just strike. Sometimes you don't want to grapple. Sometimes you don't want to hold people in side control. Sometimes you just want their hands, and that's all it is. The goal is to be consistent. Lead team straight. I didn't even know that was a combo. Learn something new every day. Now he's throwing off the body kick himself, but capitalizing on his stamina being low. Couldn't jump on him. And now his body's flashing. Now he's starting to sidestep. And that's not really a good idea. If your body's flashing and you're sidestepping, you're going to eat so much damage from that body hook. There he tries to slip. Catch it with the lead hook body uppercut. Nice. Tries to nail me with a Saki combo of his own. Slipped. Stepped out of the way of the hook. He went to duck the overhead. Good head movement, bro. That was very good head movement. Like, watching his back, I'm really impressed with how good this guy's gotten. He's taken elements from a lot of good players, and he's kind of like made it to his own style. And then now he's tripping me. But I just don't want to get punched. 4-hit kickboxing combo. Swayed the knee. There's not a lot of players that you can really have that much fun with. Nice. Just one body hook. Ducks the body kick to nullify the damage. Good on his part. I'm surprised he didn't catch that. I was really slow. That body is definitely decimated at this point. And he tries to sway. Doesn't work to his favor. And the fight is over. But shout out to you, Afro Ross. That was a really fun fight. This is the Gokhan Saki little showcase. There had been a lot of people asking me to play with Gokhan Saki because I used Gokhan Saki in my ESFL title fight. But yeah, as the Turkish Tyson, the Rebel, Gokhan Saki. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Romero 17. I'm out of here. If you got an idea for any other showcases for any other fighters, let me know this in the comment section. I'm out of here.